to Elite Weather Forecasting. My name is Dooley Godot, and today we are going to talk about the weather forecast coming up for the next 7 to 8 days. So we're going to take a look at what we're going to be seeing for this weekend, as well as the work and school week ahead. But before we do that, I want to talk about how the channel is doing. This is a young channel. I've been doing it for 3 months now, and I started with 0 subscribers. And I want to just say, as of last night, I reached my 100th subscriber. So I've reached 100 subscribers. I really didn't think I would have any social media appeal. And it's like, okay, it was a struggle. But the last few weeks is a miracle. I don't know what the YouTube algorithm figured that I was slightly worthy. So it kind of promoted my videos a little bit. So starting to get a little bit of traction out there as I work to convey this weather information to the public, because it's what I love. It's my passion. I've been wanting to do this since I was a child, and I'm living the dream now. And I just want to thank all you guys for helping me to do so. And I want to ask that you continue to support the channel. Leave your likes, comments. That engagement is very important for the YouTube algorithm. And please subscribe to the channel if you're watching and you have not done so. And I'll give you a moment to do that. All right, thank you for your subscription. So anyway, so let's jump into our national radar and take a look at what's going on, because there's an area in the Midwest and the Central Plains that's dealing with some severe weather like that right now. So we're going to take a closer look at that. All right, so now we're taking a look at our radar right now, and I'm going to show you the area of severe weather that's taking place through the Central Plains. And we have the state of Nebraska, South Dakota, and Kansas down to the south here. And we're seeing these very strong line of some strong thunderstorms. Some of these are severe, especially down here to the south. You see this storm down here with that meso that's rotating down there. So this is possibly going to be a tornado-warned storm. I know that some of these storms to the south are definitely severe warned at this time. So this means you're going to be dealing with that threat of a tornado, large hail, and damaging winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. And we're talking about 2-inch diameter hail is going to be possible with some of these strong thunderstorms here. So we're going to continue to see these storms slowly propagate to the east. They're only moving east-northeast at about 20 miles per hour. So we're going to be seeing these storms continue to fire off in this strong thunderstorm juice down here across the central and southern plains. We have this area here that we're going to be seeing that enhanced risk or a moderate risk for severe weather this evening. So we're going to be seeing numerous, very strong, intense, severe thunderstorms with large tornadoes, F2 or higher, large hail, 3-inch diameter hail, winds in excess of 80 miles per hour with some of the stronger thunderstorms there. So a very dangerous situation can develop later on this evening down in this region down here through southern Nebraska and into eastern Kansas here. So we're going to keep an eye on this area, especially as this area continues to develop and moves more into the area where the dynamics are a little bit better to enhance that severe weather. So that is a look at our trouble spot this afternoon across America, as we're going to continue to monitor and see this severe weather here in the Central Plains. Now here we are moving along to our 7-day weather forecast, and we're going to look at the severe weather threat for the next few days here. And first up is we have this evening's severe weather threat, and we do have a lot of severe weather going on here through the Central Plains, as well as parts of Missouri, southwestern Iowa here. We have northwestern Arkansas, North Texas, and we have central Oklahoma here. Kansas, you guys are going to be in the bullseye for this severe weather, especially right here on the Kansas and Nebraska border, where you have that moderate risk for severe weather. And again, that's going to be that area where we're going to see those intense supercells develop. So they're going to have very large tornadoes. We're talking F2, F3 tornadoes possible here. 3-inch diameter hail. We're talking about gorilla hail like this size here, and damaging winds 80 miles per hour plus from some of those strong thunderstorms that we're going to be seeing through this region right here. And we're going to see that enhanced risk here all the way through Kansas into northern Oklahoma there, as well as parts of Missouri. We're going to be seeing that enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms. So you also are going to be seeing numerous thunderstorms. Same thing applies, maybe just slightly weaker than what we're going to be seeing here. And then in the yellow, this is our slight risk for seeing that severe weather. And we're going to be talking about scattered thunderstorms, scattered severe thunderstorms with tornadoes possible. We're going to see that large hail, damaging wind, and very heavy rainfall. Flash flooding is going to be possible in any of this activity here. And then we have our marginal risk here to the outside. And all that really means is that the storm intensity is going to be slightly less, maybe a little bit less numerous, more isolated severe storms. And then we'll see our general thunderstorms through the rest of the Midwest and the northern plains into Minnesota here, Wisconsin, over into Indiana and Illinois, all the way down through central Texas there. So you folks down in San Antonio and Dallas may see some scattered afternoon and evening thunderstorms tonight as the evening wears on. But let's take a look at what we're going to be seeing out there for your Saturday. Our system gets a little bit weaker, a little bit loses some of its energy here as it moves into the central plains, into the Midwest here in the Ohio Valley. Excuse me, not the central plains. It's in the plains today, but tomorrow it's going to be here in the Midwest, and we're going to be seeing that slight risk for severe weather, that your isolated tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds, flash flooding. So we're going to have all modes of severe weather possible. Then we have our marginal risk through the dark green here, and it's just a little bit less severe. Still severe, but maybe not as numerous. Again, we'll see those scattered thunderstorms continue up into Minnesota and the Dakotas, all the way down through Texas here. We're going to be dealing with that marginal risk for severe thunderstorms for your Saturday. And on Sunday, we're going to be seeing a little bit less in the way, actually, Sunday and into Monday morning. So this ends Monday morning. So Sunday into Monday morning. These forecasts go into about 7 a.m. the next day for these charts here. So now we're going to see another little area of low pressure develop here in the southern plains, and then we'll have a slight risk for severe weather down here through north central Texas. So you're Abilene, Lubbock, maybe west of Dallas there, you're going to see Wichita Falls. You guys are going to be in that area for severe weather down in North Texas for Sunday into Monday morning. We have another area of a marginal risk for severe weather here across the mid-Atlantic states, West Virginia into southern Pennsylvania, parts of Old Virginia there. You're going to be dealing with that severe weather, as well as northeastern Kentucky. That severe risk exists for your area as well. As we look at our weather maps here we are looking at our storm system. We do have our triple point here, right here in the Nebraska and Missouri area. We're going to be seeing that Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Illinois. We're going to be seeing that our weather front, our low pressure center here with this warm front and a cold front, and we do have a dry line here that's going to help to push in that moisture from the south here. Now our cold front is going to eventually overrun our dry line here, so we're going to see that severe weather threat continue into the Midwest here and the Missouri Valley into the Ohio Valley. We're going to be dealing with that severe weather as we make our way into the weekend. So as we move on over into Sunday here, or Saturday, we're going to be looking at that severe threat move into the Midwest here and into the northern plains. So we're going to be seeing that severe weather threat right in this region here. That's going to be that large hail, damaging wind, isolated tornadoes, and flash flooding is certainly going to be possible. All four modes of severe weather is to be expected with this activity here. And as we move on into Sunday, for your Sunday, our system moves ever so slowly. See, this system is moving slowly to the east, But as it does so, it's losing some of its dynamics. So it's going to be weakening as it moves to the east. So we're going to lose some of that severe threat as we move into Sunday and Monday. So still a few severe storms possible. We may have a marginal shot at some severe weather in these regions here through Missouri and parts of Indiana as well. Maybe Illinois might see a few severe thunderstorms, but it's going to be a little bit less active as we move into Sunday. But we will see heavy rain into the northern plains, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin. It's going to be pretty wet on your Sunday there. So, but there will be some thunderstorms embedded in this, but nothing severe expected at this time. But as we move on into Monday, so as we're looking at your Monday, we are going to be seeing that severe weather. All right, so hang on a second. We're going backwards here. Let's go forward. All right, now I was like, wait a minute, that just does not look right. So as we're looking at your Sunday, let's go into Monday. All right, so now we're on Monday. Now I'm hitting the right button here. I was hitting the wrong button, going backwards. We don't want to go backwards. We want to go forward in the time. All right, so here we are with our front now. This is weakening. As moving on to the East Coast, we're going to start to see those showers and thunderstorms move into the north and the northeast here. So we're going to start to see it in the mid-Atlantic, start to see those storms into the big cities now. Just south, they're going to stay south of Boston for Monday, but we will see those showers and storms through New York City, through Pennsylvania, as well as the mid-Atlantic. We're talking Maryland and Washington, Virginia. You're going to see those storms. You may see a marginal risk for some severe weather in your area, but you're going to see some non-severe thunderstorms extend all the way down to the Gulf Coast. We'll also see those non-severe thunderstorms along the East Coast in southern Florida there. Another storm system comes out into the southern plains where that potential exists for some severe weather down here across in northern Texas. So some severe weather is possible here in northern Texas. We'll see some rain and thunderstorms extend through the plain states along the front range of the Rockies on into Idaho. We'll see that wet weather, maybe some snow for the higher elevations of the Rockies there. Some rain showers start to come on shore along the Pacific Northwest. Also, as we move into Monday, so as we look at Tuesday, now we're moving out to more of the extended forecast, and we see that low pressure center right here across the central and southern plains here. This is going to be our catalyst for severe weather for your Monday and Tuesday as this system starts to dance around the plain states, and it's going to eventually make its way into the Midwest. So as we take a look at what we're going to be seeing out there for May 2nd here. So now as we move into May 3rd, we're going to be seeing this weather system move into the Great Lakes area here. It's going to spread some severe weather right in this region here in the Midwest down into Missouri. We got Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas once again, Kansas and Nebraska, Iowa are going to be seeing those severe thunderstorms potentially for your area. But we also going to have more fire weather out here in the western plains and down here in New Mexico, maybe parts of Arizona, going to be dealing with that dry air once again, and maybe some dry thunderstorms that may spark some forest and grass fires because of that dry lightning. So as we move on to the 4th now, looking at the 4th, we're going to be seeing our frontal boundary here make its way to the East Coast. Going to spread some rain showers and some thunderstorms along the East Coast. It's going to weaken again like the other system this week is going to do. So we won't see any severe weather here along the Northeast. But we do have another dry line setting up here down along the southern plains into New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma. Dry line is going to be setting up. So another severe weather setup right as we move into May 4th for your Wednesday there. All right, so as we're looking at Thursday, our system moves out into the plain states. That severe weather is going to come right out there with it. So we're going to see that severe weather across Oklahoma and Texas, as well as parts of Kansas. We may see it start to move into Arkansas and Missouri as well. But the rest of the nation is going to be fairly seasonable for this time of the year. It seems like our severe weather is really honing in on this region here across the plain central, the northern central and southern plains, the Missouri Valley, the Ohio Valley, and the Tennessee Valley is really seeing the brunt of the severe weather this season. So as we move on ahead, as we take a look at what we're going to be seeing here on the 6th now we're looking at the 6th. We're talking about next Friday. So next Friday, potentially here we have to see this low pressure center here across the state of Missouri. So we're going to be seeing that severe weather across Missouri, parts of Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, as well as Arkansas and Louisiana. You guys are going to be the bullseye. Texas might get into some of that too. Northeastern Texas could be seeing some severe weather at this time. It's too early to tell exactly how severe it's going to be, but we're looking at a pretty energetic little system here. They may spark some severe weather, but it's too early to tell, and it can change. A lot of things can happen between now and Friday. That's exactly a week from today. So here we are looking at the temperatures for the next 6 or 7 days here. And what we're seeing is very seasonable weather conditions across the center of the nation here, as we're seeing those 70s here through the Central Plains into the Mississippi Valley here, the mid-Mississippi Valley, into the Ohio Valley, and the mid-Atlantic states. You guys are going to see those 70s pretty much through the course of the upcoming week here, and you're going to see those 70s extend here into the southern Rockies over into California. You're going to see those 70s through the Central Valley. You're going to see things warm up as you get through the Central Valley in California. So we're going to see those 80s. We're going to see those 90s spread through the desert Southwest. We're going to get into those upper 90s, maybe in Yuma and Phoenix. We're going to see those 96, 97 degree temperatures. We're going to see those 80s through Texas here for your for Saturday here. So as we take a look at what we're going to be seeing for Sunday, we're going to see those 80s continue down there in Texas. We're going to see those 90s also as well in the desert Southwest. We got to fall back into those 70s, 80s through the Central Valley, up into the Pacific Northwest. We're going to be talking those mid 60s, very comfortable weather conditions for you folks out there in the Pacific Northwest. Nice through the northern Rockies here, very seasonable for this time of the year, as we're seeing those temperatures in the 50s over those mountain ranges there. We'll see those 50s, lower 60s into Montana, but things cool off as you head into the northern plains, northern Minnesota, North Dakota. We get parts of South Dakota there. We'll be seeing those temperatures in the 40s, but Minneapolis is going to squeak out 51 degrees on your Sunday, so we're going to manage to remain in the 50s here in the Twin Cities when we can easily be colder, but we're going to see those 60s and 70s through the Central Plains here into Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, southern Michigan, Ohio, West Virginia, and up into the Northeast. You're going to see those temperatures in the 60s and 70s. So as we take a look at what we're going to be seeing for Monday here. So for your Monday, things are going to warm up a little bit here across Texas as we have another storm system that's going to be coming out of New Mexico into your area. So it's going to pull up that warm, moist air and maybe some dry air off of Mexico. You're going to be dealing with both that warm, moist air and that hot, dry air. So things are going to warm up into the low 90s through southern Texas here. And we're going to see those 80s from East Texas through the Gulf Coast over to Georgia and South Carolina, on up into the mid-Atlantic states and back down into the state of Florida. We're going to be seeing those temperatures in the 80s. In the Northeast, we're going to be dealing with those 50s here near Maine and the Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, upstate New York. You guys are going to be dealing with the 50s, but we'll see those 60s come into play as we head towards Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Ohio, Indianapolis, Chicago, all the way down to St. Louis, Kansas City, Denver. You guys are going to be dealing with those 60s. Wichita, Kansas, 60s as well. We'll be seeing those 60s move over into Salt Lake City. You may see temperatures in the upper 60s as well as we move into your Monday. And across the state of Nevada, we're going to be seeing those 70s come into play. 80s in California through the Central Valley, Sacramento and Bakersfield there in Fresno. You guys are going to be seeing those temperatures in the 80s for your area. But it's going to be nice and pleasant along the beaches as we're going to see those highs in the 60s For the Bay Area, all the way down to LA and San Diego, you're going to see those temperatures in the 60s and 70s. The Pacific Northwest, we're going to see those 50s and 60s, and that cold air here across the northern plains. Once again, we're going to see those 40s in northern Minnesota as well as North Dakota. And some of that cold air is going to sneak down into Nebraska as well. You guys are dealing with that severe weather today. Well, by Monday, you are going to be in the 40s. Very cold weather for this time of the year for you folks as well, as you're dealing with cold air being pulled in by the next storm system that's going to be working through this region of the country. So as we take a look at for what we're going to see for Tuesday, more of the same really for Tuesday. We're going to see those 90s down here in Texas. We'll see the 80s through the deep south up into the mid-Atlantic states. We'll see those 60s and 70s in the Pacific, in the Northeast. We'll see those 60s and 70s work their way through the Ohio Valley, down and through the Midwest in the Central Plains there. And we'll see those 70s go through the Southern Rockies into Arizona, New Mexico. But we'll see those 90s, mid-90s down in the desert Southwest and into Southern California as well. But those 80s are going to continue through the Central Valley of California. But the Pacific Northwest going to have beautiful weather again with those temperatures in the 60s. We'll see those 40s and 50s in the highest mountaintops of the Rockies there, but we'll see beautiful weather again. We're going to start to moderate here across the northern plains. We're going to start to lose those 40s. So now we're going to see 50s across the northern plains here in the Minnesota and the Dakotas. So as we take a look now, and we are on to Wednesday, we're going to see those 90s continue across Texas here, as well as the desert Southwest. We're going to keep seeing those 90s, mid-90s, and we're going to keep the same weather in California, those 80s through the Central Valley, 90s out in the desert, 60s and 70s along the beaches and the coastal areas of Southern California there. But we'll see those 80s continue across the deep south here into the mid-Atlantic states, also in Florida. We're going to see those 80s continue, and we'll see those 60s and 70s in the Northeast. We'll deal with the 50s, start to see some 60s in the northern plains. And we're going to also warm a little bit here across the high plains of Montana into Idaho and the Pacific Northwest. We're actually going to start to see mid-70s in the Pacific Northwest. Very lovely weather conditions and a little bit drier than it's been as well for the Pacific Northwest. So as we move on down into Thursday, we're going to continue to see warmer weather here across the high country of the northern Rockies, Montana here. We're going to see those 70s now moving to your area. We're going to fall back now in the Pacific Northwest as we fall back into the 50s and 60s here along the Cascades and the cities of Portland and Seattle. Those temperatures are going to cool back down for you. You did get one day warm up, but we're going to continue to see those temperatures here in California. They're going to fall off a little bit in Northern California. We're going to see those 70s, but we will see the 80s in the southern area of the Central Valley, and the 90s are going to continue out in the deserts. We're going to warm up in LA. We're going to see those 70s now along LA and San Diego, and we're going to cool off a little bit down here in Texas as our little storm system is making its way to the east, and we're going to see those temperatures in the 80s across the deep south down into Florida as well. That was a look at our 7-day weather forecast. I hope this video is not too long. Remember to leave your likes, your comments, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll be back with the next video. See you guys then. Have a great weekend, and I hope you have a good week ahead. Thank you.